What's going on, YouTube? Today I'm going to show you exactly how to move better with functional training. Okay, we're not going to talk too much. I'm going to perform the movement, going to show you exactly how to perform the movement as I guide you through it, as I perform them, and then I'm going to show you exactly how many reps and how many sets you should be doing. And that's basically all that you need, isn't it? Okay, if you actually want some changes in the way that you train, in the way that you perform, listen to this. Please start training a little bit differently. It's not that hard. You can still practice your own bodybuilding movements. It's completely fine to incorporate bodybuilding and functional training at the same time, okay? You're not gonna lose your muscle mass, or you're not gonna freaking build less muscle than you would by just simply doing bodybuilding. You will actually get the benefits from both worlds. Isn't that your goal, okay? We need to move like functional athletes, okay? Especially as you age. You want to be able to move your body functionally and optimally as you age, man. You don't want to be 40 years old, you know, like barely being able to play with your kids or run around, switch directions, pick up things without having any pain. You want to actually be able to move in a healthy, functional manner, even as you age, okay? And that's when we get to say that age is just a number. Age is just a number if your body doesn't represent that you're freaking old, okay? Now, here's the first movement. We're going to do a lunge. You can hold one dumbbell, goblet position, or you can even hold it just like this. And you're going to lunge backward. If you lunge with the right leg back, you're gonna twist to your left side, okay? So it's gonna look like this. Lunge, twist as you're lunging, come back to the middle. So as you can see over here, it forces my body to practice stability, right, with the weight as I go down and as I stand up. Because naturally, what do you think my body wants to do over here? Fall to the side because there's weight, right? So you have to force your body, you have to train your body to move functionally and stable through this different movement pattern that you're not really used to, right? So the goal of this one is to do 3 sets, and you want to do 12 reps on each side, okay? As you move through this movement, make sure that you're moving a little bit more explosively. Second exercise, we're going to do a decline plank. We're going to do high plank, and then we're going to shift the weight from side to side, okay? Obviously, I don't have a bench, so we're going to use a trash can. All right? Adapt and overcome, guys. Here we go. So from here, core nice and stable, shift the weight to the side, switch hands, pull to the other side. Switch, pull, switch, pull, switch, pull. You are absolutely 100% forced to keep your core stable through the entire duration of that movement, okay? It is forcing you to learn straight arm strength and keeping your core stable the entire duration of the movement, okay? We want to do 10 switches each side, okay? So that's going to be 20 total reps. Find a bench or find a trash can, whatever you have around you. Do 3 sets, 10 on each side. Right, so this one is going to be a little bit more difficult, okay? We're gonna go one movement at a time. First, you're gonna squat, okay? But as you squat, if you have to squat a little bit wider, go ahead and do so with the dumbbells in the middle. But if you can squat like this, we wanna squat and raise those dumbbells all the way up. Back up, okay? Raise, back up. If you wanna do it in the middle, right here, go ahead and do so. Back up. As you can notice right there, I am forced, because the dumbbell is dragging me forward, right? I am forced to squeeze my core, squeeze my legs, squeeze my hips. It requires you to have a certain level of hip mobility as well to sit in that deep position. As you guys can see, my mobility in that position is not that great, but that's how we work on it, okay? We use weights to help us get into those deeper positions, to increase our range of motion by utilizing weights and our own body weight at the same time, okay? With this movement, we want to do same thing, 3 sets, either open stance or closed stance. You want to do 12 reps. 12 reps is usually the rep range that I go for when I'm performing exercises like these, okay? All right, now we're gonna do one of my favorite functional bodyweight movements, which is Hindu push-ups, okay? You're going to dive bomb, so you're not completely straight in a push-up like this. Get your legs a little bit closer to your hands. You're gonna dive bomb, okay? Through your shoulders, and as you get to the bottom, push your hips towards the ground and your torso and your chest up like this, and then reverse the movement through your shoulders, dive bomb, chest to the ground, hips to the ground, push your chest as high as you can, push your hips towards the ground, and reverse the movement. All right, this one is pretty simple, but it does take some time for you to get used to that fluid motion, okay? You're trying to be as curvy as possible when you do that movement, so try to be as curvy as possible, okay? Because you're training your spine to move with intention and pressure through that movement pattern that your body's not really used to staying in that position, right? So we're basically training movement patterns or positions that our body are not very used to, okay? And that's how you develop functional strength. We want to do 3 sets, same thing. These are just push-up, okay? If you're pretty good with push-ups, I would say try to go for 15 reps, 15 to even 20 reps. You don't have to rush those movements, just take it slow. But if you really got the form down packed, go ahead and try to do, as fast as you can without breaking the form, okay? 3 sets, 15, 20 reps. All right, so this one, we're gonna do sumo squat, okay? About this wide, but I'm gonna turn this way. We're gonna go as deep as possible while holding an upright posture. And then when we come up, we wanna do a side kick like that. As you can see, we're working on our hip flexors right there. We're working on our hip flexors at the bottom. It requires a lot of hip strength to go this deep and maintain the upright posture, right? If you have weak hips, you're not gonna be able to hold this position for that long. And as you come up, we're still pushing that same, hip flexor by bringing our legs up. And then switch sides and repeat. 3 sets, same thing, and we want to do about 10 kicks each side, okay? So stand up, one side, boom, other side, that's 1. So you want to do about 10 reps total. So this last one, we actually want to do a weighted crunch. So weights right over your head, and as you crunch, engage your core before you even crunch, and as you stand up, you want to go into a split. Toes, point your toes back to the middle, squeeze, 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 and repeat. That one is really challenging. It's really gonna force you to maintain that shoulder stability and that core engagement the entire time. We wanna do 3 sets once again. For that one, just do as many as you can. I feel like most people will fail at around 15. If you can go to 20, that's the goal. This is a great exercise to actually build that core strength that you actually need to perform a lot of more advanced movements, all right? And that's basically it. Sometimes that's all it takes for you to actually build a little bit more of that functional strength that you so much desire, man. The only thing that I would say to you, don't overlook that stuff, okay? You might be caught up in this fitness journey that you are in right now, thinking that you need to build this big stature of muscle without even realizing that you are actually losing your ability to move as a functional human being. But then I would just ask you the question, what is all that muscle for if by the age of 40 you can't move like a functional human being? You can perform tasks that a healthy functional person can. You want to extend your lifespan. That means you need to move functionally, right? You need to move your body. You need to perform like a human being should. at all times, right? So don't overlook this stuff, right? You might look all kind of fancy and all, but like you are actually expanding your movement diet, right? You're expanding your movement diet. You are adding movements that your body is uncomfortable with. And as you guys already know, life doesn't always move in a comfortable freaking direction, right? Sometimes you have to change movement patterns, pick up weights in different directions, and that's the goal. You know, with performing functional movements like this, with functional training, is to actually not just expand your ability to move better, but also expand your mind. Because as you perform exercises like this, it forces you to step out of your comfort zone, to think about movements with a different mindset, with a translatable mindset. As you perform these movements, you should be thinking about, you know, like maybe picking up your kid. You don't always pick up your kid just like this, you know. Sometimes you have to pick up objects in a different direction. You're expanding your mindset, right? And as we notice with a lot of people when they age, right? And especially bodybuilders, when they age, you notice that a lot of these guys are not very bright up here. And I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, but imagine what this does to your brain, right? 40 years of your life moving in this straight line. Guess what you're building right there, right? You're building movement patterns inside your brain as well. What does it take when you are learning something new, right? It takes repetition of you doing it over and over for you to see that now you're proficient at it. But imagine a bodybuilder doing the same movement over and over 30, 40 years of your life. Guess what? Your brain has just adapted to that one specific plane of motion, to that one straight of line. You're building neurons pathway that only fires in one certain direction. You're not training your brain as well. And that's what functional training does to you. It expands your mind as well. So you can actually age and feel young. You can be healthy, not just functionally with your body, but with your mind as well. If you like training like this, make sure that you like this video. And as always, if you actually want to work with someone who has done both, bodybuilding, calisthenics, functional training, go ahead and click the link. I already said that. I'm just saying it again, okay? Click the link, apply to work with me. I don't work with everyone because if I hop on a call with you and I know that you're not committed, I've been doing these calls for a very long time, right? I know right away if you're not committed, if you're gonna give me trouble while you're training with me through like 6 months or so, right? I don't wanna work with that client, right? I'm building a team, a solid team of individuals who are trying to expand their bodies, their mind, trying to be a freaking beast. Trying to actually be a human being who's always aiming for greater, for a better version of themselves, okay? If this is you, let's get to work. Appreciate you.